Hi Vita, how are you? Can you hear me? Hola, can you hear me guys? Hi Space Star, how are you? You know, I wanted to bring my incense stick that I always, or Palo Santo, the one that I always use to sage. But since the other day, the energy of the first days, I don't know, maybe it's because we are really tired. Like, you know, the week is not over yet, but we can like slowly, like we are closer to the weekend. So somehow, you know, the energy is a bit drained. So I bought with me my this is an instrument that it's a pin to do noises, to somehow like with the sound break the blockages. So I'm going to play this. So if you want to concentrate, take a deep breath so we can calm ourselves, so we can ground ourselves and be present in the now and in this life, so we can like let go of the worries and everything extra that we carry with us through the day. Like just let it go and let's just enjoy ourselves here. I'm going to play this. I noticed it's a bit out of tune, but I always play it and there's never nothing wrong with that, but today it is, so I don't know. Maybe we're too charged. There's something I was like, why does this sound so different? But I will get it fixed if it's broken. But I don't think it's broken. But it sounded a bit weird, like out of tune. But, oh well. Next time I will bring my singing bowl. But it's a bit heavier to bring, but I will bring it. How are you guys? How has been your week so far? Mm. Yes, it seems like it's in the air. I don't know how to explain this because I don't want to sound the Lulu. But there's like a lot of mix of emotions, like it's not when you are low in energy, but it's like a mix of things, when you actually that something is going on with you, but you cannot put it into words, like it's a bit weird. So I'm going to pull a card for us to start this live to see what the tarot has to give us as a message for us, the people that we are joining in this live or the people that are watching. What is the energy available for us? For us, the Three of Cups. So, to celebrate. Just simple as that. Like I mentioned a bit earlier when I tried to play the instrument. Somehow to let go of the worries of the day or of the week and just enjoy ourselves, like enjoy our company, enjoy our conversations and whatever that we can like create here. So, but just enjoy. Like let's connect with what we love and what makes us happy. At least for as much as this life is, the how long as this life lasts for you to have fun and to be able to connect with others, so you don't feel so lonely. It's important to connect with others. It's important, and it's also healing to talk about what you like, or about your experiences. I don't know, with music, with your idols, with your perceptions. It's sometimes it's necessary to stop a bit and celebrate. What you have available. That maybe it's not the the what you want right now, or it's not perfect enough, or it's not good enough, but it is what we have available today, so we should like celebrate that. Vita, did you see the trailer of, it's not a trailer, I saw a TikTok of a few images of Hakyeon on the Goedam season 2. And Shonu was also there in the pic. And Alexa, is it Alexa, her name? Alexa, is it her? I always confuse her name. I saw a few pictures of their upcoming series. And I loved season 1, so I'm excited to watch season 2. Like, if I didn't know that they were going to be there, I would probably be very amazed because I was planning on watching Gotham season 2. So the fact that they are there, it's amazing. Are going on world tour as well. Oh yes, I read. Um, but I miss Eric. You know, yesterday while I was cleaning my house, I put a playlist of different performances uh, of Kingdom. And usually the first one that I watch is 80s rhythm ta, like the version of 80s in Kingdom. And then it goes with Stray Kids and then the different groups, stages. But eventually it turns out into the boys' performance, because then it's like, it seems like from Kingdom we move on to Road to Kingdom, and then I was watching the performances of um, Checkmate, also Le Mio, and I really felt like I felt nostalgic. I know he's not gone forever, but I was like, I miss Eric. Like, like there's something about that guy that I don't know. Um, he's not my bias, but to for them to potentially go on a tour and him not being there, I don't know if probably, I don't know, maybe we have a surprise and actually he will appear, but um, it's not the same without him. I miss him. Um, isn't he on a break? He's in. He's taking a break due to health reasons. They say health reasons, but I think that is mental health issues. Hello, Samara. How are you? But I miss him. I hope he can recover soon and come back. Hello, Rem. How are you guys? So I was mentioning, I was talking with Bita that I saw small clips in TikTok of Godam season 2, and there were pictures of the voice Hagnon, Alexa is it? Alexa and Shonu. I did recognize them, the three. I know there's other people, but I did recognize them and I was really excited. I actually canceled Netflix and I did hide it again so I can watch Gotham season 2 just for them because actually there's nothing that I was a bit disappointed at Netflix content. But then I also I paid for Vicky's subscription and I was a bit disappointed as well. Hope he is better. Eric is really energetic and passionate person. Yes, yes. It's just that I didn't think that I was going to miss him, especially because we have like, my bias is Sangyeon and Q, and we were talking about Jujon the other day. I don't know if you, yes, yes, Amara. I don't know if you maybe rewatched my rant of in the last live Vita where I talked about Jujon New Nose. Have you heard about my ranting? Have you watched it? I don't know if maybe you were present and I didn't see you, but I wanted to know what you think about that because I was calling out to the obvious. I had Jessie, I think it was Jessie was present, and she was like, "Oh yes, I noticed," and I was like, I need the obvious here because I wanted so bad to express my frustration. I know it's just a nose, but it's something that, at least for me, I'm upset that they touched his nose. Like there was no need to do that. It wasn't like he had like a giant nose that you were like, okay, maybe it would be necessary, but I don't know. I was very upset about that. 17 has a movie coming out as well. Really? Oh, their movie, the movie of the group. Yes, I think someone mentioned this. when they asked me to pull a card for them, that there was going to be a movie. I hope so. Hope so. I think I did a reading for Mingyu yesterday, was it? Or the day before? The thing is, it could have been his decision and could have been an insecurity. Hmm. Yes, I'm sure they take into consideration his point of view as well. But I loved Chu John's nose. He was so distinctive for me. I like that style of nose. You know, I think that for me is what makes him stand out. You know, because sometimes some idols they do you do no you do uh, it gets to your attention that they have a nose job and you know it because usually their nose is very straight and it's like this and it doesn't move. You know, it's like this and it doesn't move. And it you know that it's you know and I think that that um that sort of like nose that doesn't move or doesn't play well with the face, it's something that you cannot help to notice and you're like, oh, like at least for me and actually what I noticed this also in K dramas, with a lot of not so many, but with a lot of females and males. I noticed this, and somehow I cannot look at their faces because it looks so unnatural that I was like, I cannot watch your face, like because it seems like it makes them expressionless. I don't know if it makes sense, but it makes their face freeze. So it seems like when they are expressing an emotion, it seems like it's the same emotion over and over. So I cannot help but to see that and notice that. Yeah, no, where I'm just saying in the industry. Oh, wait. I'm saying is that industry that likes to mass produce everything, including the idol's visuals. I'm not surprised he could have felt insecure. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, yes, I'm sure. Yes, yes, totally. Yeah. Hello. Yes, Vita. Actually, I was talking about Jujeon. He got a nose job. Like, there were a lot of pictures of him in the last performance that he did. That in this performance is the one that Eric is not part, and the pictures that you see definitely show you that when he looks straight at the camera and he does his distinctive expression when he looks at the camera, you notice that his nose is too like straight and I'm sure you know Jujon's expression when he looks at the camera. He has this sort of like animal lion kind of very fierce uh, expression and way of moving his face. And somehow when he did that expression on camera, it was it was another guy. It wasn't Jujon. Hello. Jujon, the voice, Jujon. I'm sorry, am I pronouncing it? I'm sorry. Jujon, it's a name that is really hard for me to pronounce. I know I'm saying it wrong probably. The voice, Jujon. Yes, Jujon. I'm sorry. Yes, I know I'm pronouncing it Yes, Jujon. Yes, I notice I don't pronounce his name in the right way because when I have a friend that her bias is he is her bias. So when she talks about his name, she sounds different, and she's Mexican. So she she pronounced it the way it is, and I cannot. I cannot. I say Jujon. I say like Jujon, like, but you know who I'm talking about. Yes, I know, Vita. I was thinking exactly the same. Yes, exactly. Uh, I was so upset because I was really upset, and I wanted to share it with you guys because oh, Jeonjun also. Yes, yes, I second this. You know, um, I was like, why would they touch his nose? His nose gave him personality. Now he looks like a random model guy. Like those standard Korean models. He looks handsome. Like he looks amazing, but he looks average. He looks like perfect. But like because of it's like I was mentioning, there are some nose jobs or some styles of nose job that they are reproduced so many times that you somehow can see the pattern. No, I think that maybe it was a decision of the company because now you know that he had been um, he always participates. When the boys do individual activities, they always send him. Even for the Tiger Inside, the idols of the Year of the Tiger, they also included him. Um, because I think that he is like 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 I was talking about this the other day that Jujon is not my bias, but he is the center of the voice. He is the reason. He's the one that caught my attention. He's the first thing I saw when I saw the performance. I was like, who is that? And then when I got to know the group, then I went and choose my biases. That is not him, but he is the reason why I became a Jovi. Visually, he was so, his face, his there's something so unique about the way he stares at the camera. There's something very lion-like. Something very I cannot say instinctive. Hola, Diana. I'm suspicious that the voice company merges with another, and now Jujun as a new face is cancelled. Yeah, yeah. And also, I was mentioning that I noticed because we were talking about the V-shape face, because we were talking about plastic surgeries and stuff. Um, isn't he in a lot of dramas? I don't know. I see him in a lot of like uh, advertisement, like magazines, modeling. I saw him in those more than acting actually. But he goes to variety shows a lot because this is why I think that he is so important because they they bring other members with him. But it seems like he is, because it's not about his visuals. I think that there's something about him that he's also very, very friendly. There's something about Jujon that he probably, for example, he had to participate in two different shows, one with New and one with Q. And these two guys are guys that are very shy. Like they are, you can definitely tell that they are these very introvert people. So yes, they are talented, but they always put Jujon with them, because Jujon is like the kind of person that would break the ice. He would be like stepping up first, like, hello, how are you, and just trying to blend in with strangers, or with working with people that are not his members. He's a bit more flexible in that sense, a bit more sociable. Of course that he can be awkward and just like everyone, but in this sense, I think that he is a bit more. It seems like he's a bit more he doesn't mind to be with people that he doesn't know. For example, in the case of I think I mix him up with someone else. He does have a K-drama face, though. And now he does it even more, Samara. And he does have. There's other member that is called Jonghoon. Is it Jonghoon? Yes, Jonghoon. That he had been in K dramas and also modeling. And then we have other one that is called Haejeon. No, Hyun Jae. I'm sorry, Hyun Jae. That he is other one that is a visual. I think their three are called the triada, the triangle, the Bermuda Triangle. Hello, Mariana. And um, I love Jujun. We share birthdays with Jujun, so I love him. He is my. Um, ¿Viste la polémica de los Grammys con BTS? No, what happened with Grammys and BTS? What happened? I mean, I'm not disappointed. I mean, I'm after what they did last year, I was like, okay, I'm never going to watch the Grammys again, and because I was like, and this year they did the same. So yes, mm-hmm, they didn't win, and they will keep it up. They will keep it up. I don't know why people get so triggered. If I think that for me, it's like I don't know why. The other day I was scrolling through TikTok and I was like, for me, people that complain is like, when you have a crush on someone and that person is not interested in you, so you are like so upset talking over and over about that person that just is not interested. There's like this, like why are we even talking about the Grammys? Like, I don't think that even the guys are interested in the Grammys anymore. Hmm. I'm not surprised because it was butter. And the Grammys is obviously using them for views. Yes. But Doja Cat did deserve the win, but I also think that the Grammy should have separated the group. Yes, I also agree that it wasn't, the category was a bit ambiguous. Yes, but this is their strategy. They do this. They do this so they can trigger people, because triggered fandom means views or means to stay relevant. I actually got. I didn't watch the Grammys. I only watched TikToks because I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy awards anymore. Like award season. Award. I don't know. Mm. The Grammys categories are always ambiguous. Yes. But also the fact that the Grammys usually didn't announce this category live, but they did for this. So, music quality wise, I don't think BTS deserves to win, but numbers wise, they could have won. Yeah, I just hope we can move on. But I don't know, I don't know their plan. I want to see, I want to see Agusti music. I want to see them like doing their stuff, but in Korean. I want them in my personal taste. I'm not saying that everyone should agree or not, but for me, it's like, sometimes you have to accept that they don't want you. I think that like I said, it's like begging for affection or recognition for people that are never going to take you seriously, or they are never going to. This is why the Grammys, you have the Latin Grammys, because there was a point in the 2000s that the other day I was reflecting on this when I saw old Ricky Martin videos, old Jennifer Lopez Spanish songs or Latin songs, or not Julio Iglesias, the song. Enrique Iglesias singing in Spanish, like singing in English, I'm sorry, doing this crossover. And now I remembered when Latin people or singers were doing this crossover of singing in English, and they were like this Latin wave. Everything was Latin, or like there was like a lot of like fashion, and a lot of like, everything was very suddenly being Latin, talking in Spanish or listening to Spanish songs in the charts was very popular. Sort of like the Korean wave of right now. We had that with the Latin as well, with the Latinos people. Um, so, and then when eventually the Grammys had the Latin Grammys, because I think that there was this, I don't know who came up with the idea, but there was like, okay, we are not going to get uh, this because we are not white enough, so we have to, you know, wait that I'm reading you. I'm reading your comments. They definitely use BTS for view, but also Doja deserve it. I think they should deserve it, yes. And I think they announced it. They need and Hive need to end the Grammy obsession. I prefer their Korean tracks, yes, over their English singles. Me too. I want them to release one in Korean because Hive is outsourcing writers and producers who do a piece poor job. ¿Viste lo de J Balvin? Que el call out los Latin Grammys y no fue, pero los Grammys. Ah, sí. Oh, wait. Best they legit hired Nickelodeon, and Disney rejects write their English song. Doesn't it sound so Disney? The lyrics and stuff. It's like, I'm like, I think that, I don't know, I'm just waiting for a change. I'm just waiting for a change. Nickelodeon, yes, it sounds like, And but but this is the thing, guys. If they have people that support this style and they support this, they're going to continue doing this strategy. Not the voice, but the company is going to continue doing this because the feedback that they're getting is that okay, what we receive, what we gave, what we put out was popular. So yes, we have it. I think BTS may get more respect from the American music industry if their music was more adult-like and mature. Did you see that Javi's putting out the pictures for the new girl group? Oh yes, the models. Someone said that they look like models. And finally, after almost a year, TXT is having a comeback. The fans will eat up anything might not as compromise your artistry and be artistic. I feel like it needs to stop that adapting thing like they do to extreme, they get more pop. They do sound like a perfume brand. Hmm. I don't know, guys. I just think that, you know, everyone complains about the fourth generation, that the fourth generation is noise music and everything. Oh, they are not the same, or nothing is the same. You know, the third generation was better. But I enjoy, you know, NCT Dream tracks more than, you know, like, but this is why we are multi-fandom, I guess, because we search and fear functions are the cause of, yes, I think that that's what I said actually in the reading that I did for the fourth generation, that the third generation fans are the cause of the fourth generation of being the way they are. Yes, they are like, you know, yes. This is why they take so much care of themselves, because they know that the other generation didn't have it easy with not the mistakes, but it's more with the exposure of scandals, misunderstandings, you know. I love Stray Kids Maniac. Lino's Scorpio Eyes, oh my god. Yes. Vita, we're trying to focus here. Let's not talk about Lino. Lino is my love. Lino, it makes my heart beat really fast. Fourth gen are learning from past mistakes, and then they go to complain that the adults are not as free. I feel like 2020 are good, but now it's starting to sound mass produced. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely the mass produce is there. I can sense it as well. Yes, but um, I don't know. I just enjoy them so much. I enjoy what Stray Kids does. I enjoy what NCT does. I enjoy what 17 does. You know, we are so blessed, thank God. We are so blessed, so blessed. I hope Hive take care of boys more. Jing got injured, Hobby and Cook had. Yes. Now the Grammys, and we will have for concert in Vegas this week. Yes. Yes. They should do the concerts, enjoy themselves, and move on. Yes. Yes, Rim, it's true. They are third generation. I think that they should definitely like do the concerts and move on. Like, let's move on. Let's move on. You know. I'm waiting, guys. Honestly, I'm waiting patiently. I am patient. I know they are amazing artists. I know their potential. This is why I don't want to judge, or I don't want to like put adjectives on their work, because actually their work, they are working, and yes, maybe this is not my favorite, but I will wait. I will wait. I will definitely wait for them until they release something new, because I miss them. I miss their style. I want Suga Yoongi to release something of his own. I love his music. Um, I will wait for them, definitely, definitely. But yes, that's why I focus more on other groups. I don't. I focus on other group because somehow, since these groups that we follow, they are not so maybe in the international scene. They do have some kind of freedom to. You can see the guys at this, they have fun doing what they do. The fourth generation groups. They have the restrictions, but you can see like the excitement of someone that maybe just started, or they are in their second year or in the third year. They are this very bright, vibrant energy that is, and I love how TXT has grown. TXT has grown a lot. Yes, yes, yes. I think so, and I'm just having so much fun with them. I'm having a lot of fun with them. Um, but you know, this is why I think that the Grammys is, for me, we should move on of the Grammys. I don't get a good vibe of the Grammys. No one gets a good vibe of the Grammys. So I think we should dismiss them, like, oh, this never happened. Like, you are that. No, I don't know how to say this, but we need to block them like this, like you don't exist. Uh, I love the XC concept, growing up and them and how their music evolves as they mature. Yes. Their lyrics are really profound. This is why I was like, oh my god, I love the choices, the how they pick the songs for TXT last year. I was like, wow, and they did it amazingly. They did it amazingly. They did really great. Um, but I don't know them that much. Like, I consume their music, but maybe if you tell me, if I have watched, if you ask me if I had watched, for example, um, their B lives, hello Thais, their B lives or something like that. No, I haven't. Like, I don't know how they behave. I don't know how uh, their style of communication, how they interact with each other. Um, the ones that I do watch some content, it's NCT 127 and Stray Kids, probably. They are hilarious. They are hilarious. Like, I just laugh so much. 17 as well. 17 is very funny, very funny. Um, yes, they are really great guys. I just get a good vibe of them, but definitely I sense that they don't have it easy. There's something about them that actually people think that because they are associated with hype, they are, they made it, and actually no, they work really hard to keep up to the standard, and there's also a bit of limitation. This is why I think that this formula of this this very dark concept that they got. I think that it was just what they needed to break free from, you know, bubblegum music. I think that there was a lot of bubblegum, and I know that probably it was necessary because, like some fans say, that we had a tough year, 2020. It was a tough year for all of us around the world. So somehow it made sense that the groups had this very light and bubble and very hopeful and very positive kind of concept, so they don't depress people like much more than what we already were, with the uncertainty of sickness and a lot of things that happened. But yes, now we are moving on slowly. I'm not saying we are going back to normal, because I don't think we ever are going to go back to normal. But we are like slowly entering a new era. We are closing a cycle in our lives. Blue hour was needed during that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Was needed. Yes, it was needed, because I think that it wasn't a good year to talk about deep emotions, and how you feel about this. Tell me what you feel about this. Like, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm lonely. No, it's like, no, come on, join the party. Like, come on, like, let's laugh. Like, come on, like. So they did a great job. They did a great job, all of them. And I'm sure that for them it mustn't have been easy. Sometimes I think about that. I'm like, for an artist to perform in an empty room without the presence of the fans must feel extremely lonely and depressing. I think that we should also, like, think from their perspective as an artist. How hard was it, in how also uncertainty also hit them as well, because their work, what they do for a living, is to promote music, to meet the fans, to have interactions with the fans, to entertain the fans. But yes, we can do it online, but it's not the same. You need to have the one-on-one experience. And you need to also have that retribution of energy of all the people in a room concentrated. Somehow, yes, concentrated in a room, cheering for you. It's not the same to perform for an empty audience or an empty studio. That it must be like, really, like, I'm sure that they try to keep a sort of like composure while they were filming, but maybe afterwards, what happens after, it must be really like, okay, I'm going home, okay, like, them really missing the audience. Because actually, if you think about an artist or a performer, they need the audience. Without the audience, without the eyes of the audience, without the chants of the audience, without the energy of the audience, they cannot connect. It must be really awkward and almost ridiculous to perform with an empty room. For them it must be like, what am I doing? Who am I doing this for if the audience is not there? It must be depressing. Because even though, yes, that, yes, they are watching me on a broadcast, they are watching me wherever they are watching me, yes, but in the physical place that you find yourself in, you're lonely and it's empty. and it's cold, and it's witnessing that emptiness that also plays with your own insecurities of, wow, no one came to see me, no one is watching me. I think that it somehow breaks you as an artist to not have the feedback of the audience. The Leo idols suffer the most, yes. Yes, also for the groups that debuted during the pandemic. Yes, because they don't know what it feels like to have the audience there. I think Sun really felt the absence of fans on their online courses. I was so happy when they were able to tour the US after for so long. It doesn't feel the same. Yes, the energy is different. And when they really tell you, I think that I saw this in one of BTS online concerts, where Jimin broke, like he literally broke. Like Jimin is a guy that he's really good at with words. He's a moon in Gemini. He's really good at rationalizing everything. He knows his speech. He knows what he has to say. He has good memory, but somehow the emptiness of the room and also the pressure of keeping his energy up. When you're trying to keep your energy up, very positive, like, okay, yes, I'm doing this because they're watching me, so they want me to be at this high level, so I'm going to be high level, so I'm going to show them that we're happy, that we're here, that we're together, that we're having fun. And actually, I miss them. I feel like, why, like he said, I don't understand why this is happening. When he had that moment, it really like make me empathize a bit more with what it means for an entertainer to have their audience, because he wasn't like, you know because of course that for an idol the typical message that they have to deliver is this message of hope and this message of, like, we're going to be okay, we're going to see each other someday, let's be patient, let's celebrate, let's remain hopeful. But I think that what he did right there was a very humane. It wasn't Jimin the performer. It was Jimin the person. He broke in that moment because he felt like he had to keep his energy up, 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 and then suddenly it hit him like there's no one here. I'm dancing with the guys. Yes, we are singing, we are jumping. There's no one here. And Jimin is a Libra. We always talk about Libras in my labs. I don't know. I want someone to bring me. Can you please bring me some other? Can we please start talking about other? Because I think that in my whole life we always talk about the Libra energy. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we should like introduce different idols and and different energies, so the other signs don't feel left left out of the conversation. But if you are a Libra person, or if you have a Libra placement, that I always talk how they need the how they need the other to show them how they value, how much their value is. They desperately need the other's feedback. For him to break that way, it was like, I feel lonely. I know you're there with me at distance, but I need you here and I don't have you here. And I think I'm running out of pretending like a Libra harmonious kind of way of pretending like, yes, we are together no matter where we are all a big family. He had this very raw emotion that is very, very of him. It's very his Venus and Mars in Scorpio. That it was that manifestation of raw and emotion, and it was like, okay, maybe what I have to say about how I'm feeling emotionally is going to devastate people, and it's going to make you cry, and I'm going to make you feel uncomfortable, but I want you to know that I feel like this is killing me inside, that you are not here. And probably for the other members were also like, come on, like, come on, let's keep up, let's keep the energy up. And he was like, I cannot hold it in anymore. I need to say what I want to say. I need to, this is very Scorpio energy, to bring out the dirt. I need to put it out there. I need to tell you about how I feel, how I really feel inside. And I feel like I need you and you're not here. And I feel empty. For me, it's because I'm a Libra moon. I'm a Libra moon too. Imagine having the people there many years and then pandemic comes and you see the place empty. About most rare signs in idol. Sagittarius. 17 June is the more, yes. Yes, true, so true. My best friend is a Libra and she's always like that. Oh yes, I saw the hostage. Yes, I saw the hostage concert. Yes. They are hostage. Yes. Talking about Libra, what does it mean to have Jupiter in Libra? I don't know actually, because actually the sign that it's in Libra, it's generational. It comes from generations, so it's not like it affects the way you behave. It's more like a placement. It's more like how it influences the generations. For example, I don't know what generation you are from. I don't know if you are of what year you're from, but if you have Jupiter in Libra, I don't know if you are the younger generation or the. But it definitely affects society. It's not about the individual. It's more about society. If BTS and Twice are doing it, I must imagine the kind of dirt that Dispatch must have all their companies. Definitely. We gotta accept this. We gotta accept that they got them. They got them. Dispatch got them. They have stray kids. Do they? They have stray kids, right? Or am I mistaken? Stray kids, and then they have NCT 127. The power they hold. The power they hold. Because everyone complaining about Dispatch, and suddenly they are celebrating their anniversary. They are celebrating, your idols are celebrating Dispatch anniversary. And then the fans complain, oh no, look how Dispatch did this with their cameras and why they are so invasive. And here we have the most famous, almost the most famous groups gathering to celebrate. I wouldn't say that they are not there to celebrate. They are sort of like, okay, what do we have to do? We have to perform. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 minutes performance of my group, and then we're leaving. I think Wojun is a Sagittarius. Wojun. There must be a reason why this group's couple was announced. Yes. Hmm. For me, it was the first thing that came to my mind. They have them hostage. That's power flexing. I think I read for this patch before this hostage concert. I think someone figured that it was near the, where well, it was the beginning of the year where everyone was expecting about if there was going to be announced a new couple. And I think I did mention in that reading that for me they were getting bolder and bolder because they were having so much money. Like there's so much money in this patch. There's so much money. There's so much money, guys. So I think that if you are buying if you are buying records and you are buying merchandise, probably this patch has your money. This patch has a percent of your money. I wonder if they might make most idol companies. Yes? For me, it was very bizarre, guys. But I saw it in the reading. I don't remember exactly how I expressed it, but I saw them like them feeling like they are very important. Like, oh, we are like they are no longer undergrounds. They are like they are flexing. They're flexing, and this concert is flexing. So whatever they have, and somehow, I don't think they have it necessarily of all those groups involved. But somehow, the groups that are invited or the groups that are performing, they are also covering for other groups that are involved. They're like company CEOs are working with each other as well. I think that probably is not as obvious as you think. That thinking, oh, because this group is presenting, the other group is presenting, this group is presenting, so they are dating each other. No, I think that it's not all of them. I think that they are covering, they are assisting because they are covering for, they are like distracting people. So it is not that obvious that you are covering for this single group. So you bring the others along as well. Mm, they are the Korean teams. Mhm. El chisme les deja dinero. Uf. I think it's more likely that they are covering the company as a whole. Yes, they are like representative because somehow people, because it would be too obvious to be like, oh well, how many girl groups do we have in that concert? It would be like too obvious to be like, okay, from this girl group, how many members do we have? Do we have 10? Okay, these 10 girls are dating one of this group, one of that group, one of the other group. It would be like, whoa. Like, I think that not all of them are hiding something necessarily. Because fortune idols are getting smart in covering their dating story. Yes. Do we have YG groups? Do we have a YG group in there? Are there YG groups in there? Mm-hmm. Because if I'm not mistaken, there aren't any YG groups. Treasure. Treasure, I think. Yeah, I think I saw Treasure. Then there's another information in there. That means that YG somehow is not going to. It seems like he's not going to let anyone threaten them or their artists. In a sense that probably they are like, okay, if you want to expose my artist, go ahead. Because I think that we know that a lot of them are becoming parents, are getting married. They already exposed Jenny, so you know they are making a statement in there. Mm. It's interesting. We should post. We should pull later a card for them, for the hostage concert, to see what's that about. Dispatch has this kind of power because of Korean culture. Fits that white. Fits that these people have their careers destroyed because Korean public is quite toxic against artists dating, as if they own them. Yes. Hola. Hola, Alison. We were talking about Dispatch hostage concert. Um, but then, like we were talking about signs. Like, let's bring out, the most rare signs in idols. And I think that someone said Sagittarius. Yes, there are some Sagittarius artists. But you have more moon in Sagittarius artists actually. And I don't know if you are like keeping up with my Aries season readings, but when I talked about Aries and about how for me, in my perception, the idol lifestyle must be hard for an Aries, for a Sagittarius, um, for a fire sign. Except Leo, that Leo loves attention, and of course it's their purpose in life is to be the center of attention. But being an idol, I think that is a kind of career that has a lot of restrictions. So when you are a fire sign, when you are an Aries, when you are as blunt as Aries, Sagittarius, you tend to mess up a lot according to what they think is wrong or is right for you to do. They have to change their whole persona and adapt and become someone that at the end they end up despising themselves, because Aries and Sagittarius are not these kind of people that they are not good at, you know, they can do it for the money, of course, but at the end, they are going to show you the real colors. And probably if they mess up, or if they do something childish, or if they offend people, or if they argue with people, or if they say the wrong thing on somewhere, they are just being themselves. And probably they are also sabotaging their own careers because their energy is not to be so polished. The fire signs, they cannot live with that sort of pressure of I have to be decent, you know. I feel like Aries and Virgo energy stand out the most though. Like for example, Felix is a Virgo sun and Aries moon. Sagittarius are all about freedom too, so I get the destructive life of another. No, it's not. And they eventually get in trouble. I say in trouble because actually what they get accused of is like, oh, going out to parties, having drink with friends, probably being very affectionate with female from the opposite sex, being very, very blunt, being very energetic, being very enthusiastic. It's like, oh no, this is not the right moment. And also, Sagittarius has the tendency of, you know, saying the wrong things their timing is not really good, so they tend to get in trouble. They get in trouble their whole life until they somehow become adults and they are like, okay, this is me, like, this is who I am. You either take it or leave it. And Aries is also like that. Aries is also this energy of take it or leave it. You don't like me, like, I don't care. I don't care. Yes, mi amiga Sagitario dijo que la cancelarían. Yes, if you were a Sagittarius idol, they would cancel you. Yes. Yes, they would cancel you. We were talking the other day. I have Jupiter in my first house, and I'm a double Capricorn. Like, I'm Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, and have Mercury in Capricorn. So I should be, I don't know, like very good with words, very neutral, like polite and stuff. But there was a period in my life where I used to say really, I wouldn't say hurtful things, but maybe I was too straightforward because I somehow would get comfortable and start talking without thinking. And that's when you have Jupiter in the first house, is like, it's Sagittarius energy, especially because the first house is the house of how others perceive you. So, it was very visible, and it happened to me with a lot of exposure. I would be with a group of people and I would say something that then a lot of people would stare at me like, what did you say? And I swear that I say it with none wanting to, like, I didn't want to, like, offend anyone, but maybe it was just a random thought or opinion, and people would get really upset. They wouldn't say it, but I would notice the looks on their faces. Yes. Yes. And sometimes that's why when as I grew older, I always tell people, don't ask me what I think. Just don't ask me what I think. Like, don't get me started, because between my moon in Scorpio, that is also a bit bitchy, a bit like I'm going straight to the core of the matter. So if you ask me what I feel about something, I will tell you the raw truth. And I have my Jupiter in first house, so I'm very blunt. Like, I deliver it just like this, and it doesn't matter where I am. I just say it. So I was like, oh, it seems like people, like, they don't they don't appreciate it. So I'm like, I'm not going to say. This is why I always tell you guys, like, there is not. I love Sagittarius energy. I think that if I were it's just a Capricorn, I would be really boring, and I wouldn't have the ability or the curiosity to talk to different people, to be able to have interesting conversations, funny conversations, to be speaking another language as well. I would be this bored, plain person, because Capricorn sometimes is not very curious. So I actually am very grateful of my Jupiter in my first house, but definitely I had to learn to refrain myself from, like, be careful about what you say, when you say it, and who you say it to, because there are people that are going to find your opinions funny, and then there are people that are going to be looking at you like, this is not right. Sometimes it can be annoying. They say things that aren't. Yes. Yes, I know. I know. Yes, yes. As as partners, they are hilarious. They are hilarious, I swear. And also, I think that it's because my dad also is an Aries. So somehow I grew up watching him. So he always had been really blunt at the same time, a bit like confrontative, that he would tell you what he thinks, and he's not going to sugarcoat it. So somehow I thought that, that you are supposed to say what you think, and then I realized that no, that we have protocols. Yes, yes. Having a conversation with Sagittarius is the most fun thing ever, ever, ever. This is why when they talk about Lino, about Stray Kids Lino, that yes, he is a Scorpio, so he does have this tendency of being a bit, you know, with dark humor. But at the same time, his moon in Sagittarius is what makes him stand out of the others, because he is a bit more bold. Like he is, it's not that he's making fun of you, it's just that he is like that. He has no filter. If he doesn't feel like doing something, he's not going to do it. So probably this is why his interaction with the states are really hilarious, because he does put them in their places. He adds a bit of the savageness of being a Scorpio, and also his moon in Sagittarius plays a very important role in there. Yes, Lino is just like a cat. Yes. Lino, it's like a cat. He's one more of the cats. Yes. He's savage. He's savage, and he doesn't apologize. He's not like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, no. His humor is very special, and he sure puts you to a test. And also, I think that Lino, I haven't had the chance to observe him actually talking a bit more about what he knows about reading books. I don't know if he reads books, but I think that Lino is a very smart guy. Like, I don't know, maybe I should like search a bit more of his conversations, because I think that it's just that he's a Scorpio. So, he has his moon in Sagittarius traits very hidden, because somehow he's very secretive. So it's like probably he knows he's much more intelligent than what he lets on. So, and also he knows exactly his job. He's not going to give you more than actually what he has to give you in a certain content. For me, yes, Sagittarius is the funniest. I really love them. I really love them. I feel like Lino appreciated affection more than he lets on. Also seems, he's very affectionate. He's very affectionate. He seems like he wouldn't be so good at giving back affection. Yes, yes. It's just that for me, Lino is like, he reminds me a lot of me. Um, and I think that it's because I'm an only child, just like him. And, like I said, that I'm really a very bad hugger. I cannot hug people. I cannot receive hugs. I'm very awkward about affection, PDA. And if you're going to do it in public, like, please don't do it, because you're going to make me feel really uncomfortable. Uh, and and I think that there's something about Lino's, like, the distance that he puts between with the other members, for example, because I think that it's very, when you're an only child, somehow you don't know, and you don't need to actually put the effort in relationships, to get attention, for example, or to get what you want. So somehow you are like the king or the queen in your household. So when I think that maybe for him to be with a group of people that he doesn't know, he was like, okay, yes, I'm going to blend in here. But he's is not going to be the one that is going to go to you and ask you for affection. He has this attitude of, okay, if you like me, you are going to come to me. I know I had that, and I had to work a lot on that, because I used to be that selfish in relationships. where I would constantly like push my boyfriends like away, like as if they were the plague. And actually, it's not that I dislike them. It's just like I was used to like, oh, don't bother me, you know, because I knew they were affectionate with me. So I was like, no, get away, get away, get away. I don't like you. I don't want you, you know. And then one of them that was a bit more like sensitive, he was like, please don't do that, because either you tell me that you don't really want me to come close to you, but I think like every time you do this, you make me feel awful inside. You make me feel like you don't like me. So why are you with me if you're going to be that mean with me? And actually, there was the first time that I noticed that I was able to get out of my selfish perception that, oh, that yes, he's the affectionate one, you know, yes, get out of here. And then I was like, oh, I guess I need to also give affection back. Or I guess I need to, like, enable the affection to flow, you know, like, okay, he gives me affection, I give out affection, I give out affection, like in my way or in my own style, but learn, not just receive it, you know, like, okay, like, yes, I know you love me, okay, I'm going to let you hug me, you know, because I'm so special. And I learned not to be selfish like that, because maybe my body language of being like, oh, you know, it is actually offensive for the other person. And it also makes them question, like, does this person really like me, or does she hate me? Or, you know, like, and that's when I understood the importance of, like, get out of that bubble of thinking that, oh yes, I deserve attention, I don't have to work for attention, you know, I have, because I they give me attention, you know. So it was a very interesting, but I think that it was necessary for someone to really point it out to me, you know, because probably in my other relationships, no one actually really said nothing to me. They were like, okay, she's in a bad mood, or okay, she is like this, you know, she's always like this, you know, like almost like letting me be, you know, letting me be ungrateful, you know, and like enabling my bad behavior or response. But this guy actually made the difference. You know, he was able to make me understand that, you know, the person that is giving you affection is actually, you know, is trying to get to you. So why would you reject them? You know, oh what? Te quiero, pero hoy no. Yeah, I swear I was really like, you know, and then I realized that, oh, this is not right. Especially not to your partner, you know, and I even question myself, like, why would I do that? You know, if I like him, but una pregunta, Marte en conjunción Plutón y la casa en la octava casa sería parecido a tener una conjunción. Marte en conjunción Plutón y la luna en la octava casa. La luna es conjunción, conjunción. No, la luna en la octava casa absorbería la energía de la octava casa, sí, sería, absorbe la energía de la casa en la que está, del signo en el que está, pero no sé si lo llamaría conjunción, porque sería como que la luna está ahí. La luna para que sea conjunción, o el planeta para que esté en conjunción, tiene que estar los dos pegados. I don't know if I ever showed you my, I don't know if I have it here, my tarot, my birth chart. I don't think I have it. I have it here? Thank you so much. I don't know if you can see it here, but this is how my birth chart looks like. You know, this is the conjunction that I have, Scorpio have the moon conjunction Pluto. And then here I think I have, you know, Venus and Mars in Pisces in conjunction in the first house. And this is my Jupiter next to my Sun in my ascendant in the first house. But there are different sides of birth charts. You know, you can have different designs. It depends of, and these are the aspects. Um, it's very complex. Astrology is very complex. But definitely, if you do have those, Mariana, you do have a lot of Scorpio energy. Because moon, I know probably you said that you were Scorpio, but moon, moon in the 8th, it feels like a Scorpio moon. And Mars conjunct Pluto is like a Mars in Scorpio, kinda. There's a lot of energy to work in there, a lot of transformation, a lot of transformation, a lot of power of transformation. You either transform yourself or you transform others. Yes, you have very strong Scorpio placements. Yes, it seems like they follow you. What is your north node? In what sign is your north node? And your rising. ¿En algún momento te gustaría dar iniciaciones sobre tarot o de cartas natales aquí en YouTube, aspectos muy básicos? Yes, yes, Diana, I would love it. It's just that I don't consider myself an expert in astrology. That's why, like, I know it because I'm passionate about astrology. But somehow I always feel very like I'm not ready. And this actually I will start gaining more confidence because this has happened the same with the tarot. You know, there was someone that always was like, oh, you should teach tarot. And I was like, no, because I don't feel like I know how to teach myself, but I don't know how to communicate to others. And eventually I started gaining more confidence and decided to do it, you know, but for me it takes a while to make the decision actually. Uh, you have a Taurus node. So your south node is in Scorpio. I have it as well. I have my south node in Scorpio. It's the same lesson that I have to learn that is not easy because when you have the south node in Scorpio, and this is why you are here in Scorpio again, or you are here in this lifetime with this scorpionic energy. For example, in my case, I am a Capricorn, but I do have a lot of Scorpio strong energies and strong placements that is like going, there's this safe place of having Scorpio energy. You know, that it's hard to learn, it's very tempting to be a scorpionic again, to be esoteric, to be detective, you know. because somehow it's very known to you. You had been a Scorpio before. And now you are embracing the Scorpio energy, but somehow you not know that it's in Taurus. It's letting you know, like, come on, we need you to work on the material realm. We need you to focus on superficial things. We need you to build something with resources, with physical resources, with the matter. You know, we need you to focus on beauty, focus on producing, focus on you know aesthetics, focus on the senses, and you are like, no, I want to go deeper because this is what I do best, to go deeper, to go into the darkest places that no one dares to go. I feel comfortable in the dark, in the darkness of the soul, because I have been there. I have done that. I have lived a life of a lot of esoteric, a lot of intuition, a lot of magic, a lot of occultism as well. So it's very known to us, and it's very comfortable for us to stay in what we know. So when you ask me to incorporate the Taurus, I'm like, oh, Taurus is so boring. Actually, I do think that Taurus is so boring. I always get people. I always have potential partners that could be Taurus, and I swear I fell asleep talking to them, because I cannot believe how they can be so materialistic. You know, for me, it's not easy, but actually their north node is like pushing you to come on, get out of the darkness. Like, come join us in the materialistic side of things. You know, this is your homework for this lifetime. You know, this is, and we are going to keep pushing you to this through people, through experiences, until you realize that you cannot be a witch anymore. That you know that this is our other times, and you need to make money, not you know, or if you're going to be a witch, please make money out of it at least. Um, my chart lacks earth signs energy. Makes sense why my energy tends to be unstable. Yes, I feel the same. I feel the same about air signs, but you know, I noticed that eventually I end up meeting people of that sign or of that element that I crave or that I do not have. So it's beautiful to see how life eventually like is like, no, not this way. And you know, I think that I have talked to you about this, guys. You know that we, you know, like I always say, I have a lot of Scorpio energy. I'm very emotional. I actually need an emotional connection because I cannot make a bond with anyone. I need the intensity. I need that passionate bond. Um, but I never dated a Scorpio. I never dated a Scorpio Venus, a Scorpio, I don't know, Mars, I don't know, never. And I have all the qualities to click with them because somehow I know how they work. I know what they like. I know what I like. Like, we would be really good together. But somehow life is like, no, you know, we're not going to send you Scorpios. Yes, you will be great. Yes, you can have them as friends. But they're not going to teach you about love. Because you don't need to teach, you don't need to learn that. You need to embrace Taurus energy, air energy, Libra that I have. Libra and Taurus are my nemesis. Like, I definitely, and me as a Capricorn as well, Cancers. Cancer signs, Cancer moons. I swear, whenever I ask someone that I like their birth chart and they tell me that they are a Cancer rising or Cancer moon, I'm like, no, why again? These people keep following me around. Like, why do I attract these people? I don't want these people. I want a fellow Scorpio. I want a Scorpio. And no, I decided that it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. Definitely, my energetic nature, especially when it comes to emotions and what I attract as well, is not is not for Scorpio people. It's in relationships. So I'm like, okay, send me a Libra then. Send me a Libra. Send me a Gemini. I don't know. Send me a Taurus. Oh, how many guys have I dumped that they were Taurus? When I was younger, I have two boyfriends that were Taurus, and I broke up with them because they were so boring to me. Because I was really young and they wanted to have family. They wanted, they were really structured. They were really jealous, really possessive. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I like you. I don't know. I attract a lot of fire signs. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes. You have to take what you attract. Sometimes you're like, oh, this again. Yo he escuchado eso también, situaciones y personas que se ponen en tu camino que son de un signo o elemento muy diferente de lo que careces para aprender lo que te hace falta, ¿sí? They are here to teach us what we don't have, what the energy that we crave, yes? Because the other ones, we know it, we know them, we know them, we know them. Oh, gracias. We know them. Like mostly Leos and Sagittarius. Yes, I have attracted a lot of Sagittarius as well. I was like, no, why Sagittarius? Why? Yo como Sol en Libra y ascendente en Cáncer me siento personalmente atacada. See, I also met you. I also met you. You are you're always like contacting me. So I learn from you as well. I learn from you. I learn from you. But you have a moon in Scorpio, Miss Lluvia. You have moon in Scorpio. I have read your birth chart. I think you are a moon in Scorpio. You are a Libra, but you are a moon in Scorpio. So this is why we connect. This is why we connect. This is why you connect with me and I connect with you when we are talking about random things, especially Kpop. Yes, this is why. Yes, you are a different kind of Libra. You are not the typical Libra. I know it because I like your personality, and generally the people that I like to have like a bond or conversation. That I keep talking to those people or I keep connecting. They usually have a Scorpio somewhere in their chart. Me pasó con un escorpión y un sagitario, maduros en ciertas áreas de la vida, pero no estables en las relaciones. ¿Mm? Maduros, yes. As Scorpio guys, for me, I don't know. I heard a lot of interesting stories of people that dated Scorpios, but I swear that with me, they were really childish with me. Like, I don't know if they would oppose me on purpose to see if I would say something to them, but I just didn't like their attitude. Their attitude of, okay, I am the one in power, like, oh, I know I'm amazing, or I am mysterious, like, I'm not going to tell you anything about me. If you want me, can get me. I'm like, who? You? Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I also have to, we Capricorn, we are not easy people. I know that we are not easy people, but I don't bother people actually asking them to marry me or to, I don't know, get a commitment with me, because I actually take my time also to evaluate the situation, guys. I have Venus and Mars in Pisces, so definitely I am guilty of being a bit indecisive in relationships. I'm like, oh, well, we'll see. I don't know if I like you that much. I don't know. And I'm like the fish, I'm like here and there, here and there. I don't know. Now I do, now I don't. I am very, I never seriously dated, so I don't know what I attract. In terms of friends, I noticed Pisces, Aquarius, and Sagittarius. My Venus in Scorpio is several planets. Yes, Rim. Yes. This is why you're here. We were talking about this. This is why I was like, okay, I will take a Libra guy or a Sagittarius, but please let them have Venus in Scorpio. Venus or Mars, one of those. Please, I'm begging you, for my moon in Scorpio, I need to have intensity in some level of the like. I dated a Virgo guy for a lot of years. He was a Venus and Mars in Libra, and I swear that his romantic style, I was so bored with him. I swear. He was so boring. I was like, I want an intensity. I want intensity. I would fight him or I would start arguing or making some drama so I can bring a lot of passion into the relationship. But he was so basic. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you. And this is not for the Libra people. This is Venus and Mars in Libra. Like, they can be, yes, faithful, and they can be, yes, long-term material boyfriend, yes, but they don't, like, they are too cheesy, too romantic, and I didn't want romance. I wanted passion, and they wouldn't bring it. So I was bored with him. I was like, you're too romantic. Like, like, I'm a moon Scorpio. I want intensity in the bond. I want this magnetism. I want to feel something for the other person. I want to feel. So he was too romantic, and I know that for a lot of time I was like, okay, I was like, maybe I'm not appreciating my partner enough, because a lot of people, females, they would like, oh, your boyfriend is so good to you, he's such a gentleman, he's always dependent on your needs. And I actually wasn't attracted to that. I actually wanted him to leave me alone, to be honest. I wanted, because this is one thing that, at least for me, is important in relationships. I don't want a follower as a partner. I want an equal. I want him to be able to go out and live his life. And then, yes, we can see each other and we can, like, but all the time you're pendant of me, it seems like you're sucking the life out of me. I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, you remind me of a dog, or like, you're begging for attention and you're not that interesting. Yes, eres más aburrido que una roca. Libras are the biggest romantic. They are not so. Yes, they are really romantic, but they are very. And Taurus is like this as well. Taurus, they tend to want to stay in a relationship that is not working. They are the biggest deniers of the zodiac when it comes to. They would literally, like, you can cheat on them, you can do a lot of things to them, and they would still go back with you, because they would be like, oh yes, well, we dated all these years, so we should, like, stay together because we are a couple. And it's like, don't you have a bit of self-respect? Like, no. Yes, but Mars in Taurus is different, because your Mars in Taurus, it's like when you make a decision to make a move. Yes, Will Smith again. Again, see, we always go back to Libra. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to stop ranting about Libra. Let's move on. Let's bring out other signs. But Vita, Mars in Taurus is really good, because actually it slows down a bit Mars influence, because Mars is about aggression, it's about getting things into action. So for you it's going to take a bit slower, like things are going to be a bit more slow for you to make the action, to take the steps to create something or do something or react to something. But actually, once you make your mind about this, you are going to be very persistent and you are not going to stop until you see the result that you want. So it's really nice. It's really nice. Mars in Taurus. Mars in Taurus. It's like, and they are very silent. They definitely work their way up, and they are very. You don't see them coming. You're like, oh wow, like how did this person get here? And they did it with determination. They did it. Once they have their minds on something, they eventually get it. They get it. We have 12 signs in the zodiac, and we're always stuck talking about the same. Acuario para variar será. It's just, Aquarius for me is, it's like a mystery for me, actually, Aquarius. Like, because it's like Pisces, they have the ability of being everything that you thought that you knew, and somehow there's always a new layer to them, so I cannot like describe them. But definitely Aquarius is what we need in idols. This is why SM has probably the largest quantity of idols, Aquarius idols. ¿Por qué la luna de Aries me afecta más que las otras lunas? Mi sol es Acuario. Yes. Otras lunas. Mi sol es Acuario, Leo, Moon, Scorpio, Rising. Yes. Yes. It's just that the moon in Aries affects us all. We are in Aries season, and I don't know if you noticed, but as a society, if you had looked a bit around, you notice that actually people are very angry these days. We are very frustrated. Like I was saying in the beginning, there's something about our energies that we are on the edge. It's not that we are unhappy. It's just that we are, I don't know if our bodies is like waiting for something to happen, but we want confrontation. Like there's something that we are like, and it's because it's Aries season. Aries is like, come on, get out of the unknown. Come on, I mean, get out of the known, get out of the Pisces season that we had been sleeping, taking a nap. Like, no, now you are in my season. So in my season, we work. We put our bodies, we put our force, we put our willpower into action. I don't want to sit around anymore. I want to go get what I want. I don't care if I step on people. I'm going to get what I want. I don't care who gets in my way. This is why we've been having all these incidents of people fighting, people arguing, people. We are in very tumultuous moments. Let's hope for Taurus season to bring us a bit of calm. But I think that, the Aries season is heavy, guys. It's heavy. It's felt in the air. I don't know if you can, but there's this restlessness, like you're like, I'm nervous, I'm uncomfortable, I feel like I'm going to explode, but I don't know because I feel fine, but I feel like I'm not okay, like I'm like, there's like all this energy inside of me. I bet SM hates February. I bet I bet that you don't buy them anything. Or I think that probably they give them this gift cards for the SM coffee shop or something like that, the exhibition that they have in there, and go buy yourself a coffee. Yeah, there's a lot of Aquariuses. Thank God. This is why I was like, great. Okay, I'm reading for NCT, and let's not forget the TVSQ guys and the formers as well. The TVSQ also another Aquariuses. Um, but what I'm grateful is about astrology, because somehow reading a bit, like a bit about their birth chart or their moon sign, it helps me to connect better with their individuality, because it's not the same to say that, oh yes, we are all Aquariuses. There has to be a different element in this. For example, Utah and Win Win, they are both Scorpios, but you definitely can see they are both different Scorpios. They are both different. Thank you, Alison. Gracias. I think I just purposely dropped their cakes just a minute. I was thinking about that. I was like, what do they put in the cake that everyone drops them? I don't know. I don't know. Some people say that they do this because they are not supposed to eat it because they are on diets, some of them. But it's true. I never see them actually eat their cakes. Do you happen to watch if some idol had actually cut and eat in the live their cakes? In Pisces season, I felt more sleepy. Yes, and also very sensitive, which was a surprise to me. Now that it's Aries season, I feel different. But good, yes, because you are moving. Your energy is moving. We are moving towards something. We don't know what, but we are ready, just in case. The NCT Aquariuses are fascinating to me. Some fit their signs, some really don't. Yes. Ah, TXT did. Oh, how I was so upset with the Voice bias, Sangyum. He had his birthday, and he also has his birthday with my other bias that is Q. Sangyum and Q, they're both my biases. And I think that if I'm not mistaken, one of them, his birthday is the 4th, November the 4th, and the other is November the 5th. So I don't know if I'm correct with the dates, but Sangyong's birthday was the 1st. And he was decorating it, from scratch. He was like decorating it, and it was beautiful because it was like the shape of a bunny. I think he really put the effort. While talking, he was decorating his cake. And then he did it like this, like he put it like this to show it to the camera. Why? Like I was like I was so upset. Like why would you hold the plate like that? Like, and I was laughing then because he was so upset. Like I was watching it, so I was like, okay, you deserve it. Then I felt awful for him, because I was like, what did you expect? If you what did you expect? And then when it was Q's day to celebrate it, he he decorated it with a lot of like carefulness. He was like, no, I'm not going to drop the cake, because all the fans were commenting like, please don't drop the cake because Sangyun dropped the cake. So he was like, no, I'm not going to drop the cake. And I actually on Twitter, and back then I made a meme of their both their of the both cakes, and I was like, and I put the caption. I was like, this is when you are a Scorpio with the moon in Leo, and this is when you are a Scorpio with the moon in Taurus. Two different energies, two different energies, two different energies. Yes, huh. Johnny, Doyeon, Jisung makes sense. They definitely give Aquarius energy. It, do you know Doyeon actually because of his moon in Cancer, he reminds me of moon in Cancer guy. He reminds me of Cancer energy, especially when he gets offended. You know, when he has this very raw emotion of like, I'm offended that you are making fun of me or that you are laughing at me, like this is not funny, you know. And this is something that if you happen to have lived with moon in Cancer, you know how they react, you know. So I think that Doyon really reminds me whenever I see him like react or laugh or something happens with him and the other members, their interaction, I always see his moon in Cancer reacting, you know, because he's like, oh, how did you say that to me? Like, how? I'm not, you know, very blunt, but at the same time, it's very funny because it seems a bit childish, you know, like the way he argues. Um, And Lucas, for me, yes, he does. He does remind me of Aquarius energy because of how I noticed that he's very friendly with everyone, you know, but not very deep. Like, you know, like I noticed that he is friendly Aquarius, Aquarius vibe. You know, the kind of friendliness that you get from Aquarius, that they are very welcoming of people that are different to them, you know, and he does have this sort of welcoming vibe. But from his body language and also the way his body looks, that he's tall, that he's, you know, built, he definitely his moon in Taurus. I can definitely see his moon in Taurus, especially in his features. You know that he has plump lips. You know, like, you know, there's something very sensual about him. You know, even though yes, he can be funny, but I noticed that he has a lot of sensuality. You know, probably he is someone that I don't know how old he is, but probably if you compare him to the other idols that are the same age as him in the group, he's the one that is the most provocative, you know, because, but not provocative of sexual, but he is provocative of sensuality, you know, of being sensual, sensuality. You know, he does give off this vibe of a seducer. And I think that he's really young to actually know how to do that. You know, of course, at the idols train, but I think that for him it looks very natural when he does it. You definitely can see him like this heartbreaker, you know. And this is something that I also noticed on the other Aquarius that has Moon in Taurus, that is the Valentine boy, that is Jaehyun. Jaehyun. Jaehyun also reminds me a lot of Moon in Taurus. I mean, his birthday is on Valentine's Day, like, you know, and he is a Moon in Taurus. So when you see him act all seductive and all like, you know, like he has no shame in saying, you know, very romantic and cheesy and sensual kind of way of moving his body and being attractive. And like the way he moves his body, he knows he's attractive and he knows that he has that that potential of seduction. And this is something that I see in Lucas as well. But Lucas is like a taller and bigger guy. This is why I think that for me, Lucas, it seems like he's a big baby. You know, not to baby him, but I think that he probably is younger than what his body represents. You know, it seems like he has the body of a man, of a very muscular man, but he's still a child in some aspects. Probably he's the kind of guy, like the guys that are more built or are taller in elementary school or in high school, where their body grew up really fast, but they somehow remain in this childhood kind of expression. That's why I felt he was an earth sign, or then I found out he's a moon in Taurus. Una vez vi a Beckham comiendo pastel, se le cayó en la mesa. Pero creo que bueno. Lucas and Jaehyun are similar in that they are seducers, yes. I mean, the members call Lucas Giant Baby. Yes, because it seems like he seems very young, like probably, and this is something that I think that probably is a bit creepy even for them. Because if you notice, I mean, I have noticed, I know that Lucas is a very handsome guy. He's not my bias, but I noticed that he definitely, because of his body, and his confidence, and he's so fresh, probably he's a magnet for females, and especially for older females, in the sense that I can definitely sense like older females like wanting to, like, I don't know, be their sugar mom or something like that. I definitely can see like like older, like very influential females being interested in Lucas. I can see him definitely like getting into a relationship or a connection with an older female, because I think that he is very young, but somehow his body, the way his body is built, and the way he also exudes this sensuality, somehow I think that it's important that, because we always talk about, about the female energy, that for me the female idols, I'm sure they have to, be very careful about, who the propositions that they get, who want to date them, or who gets their number, who approach them, because they are females, and they have to protect each other, just like in every work related situation, you could meet a creep or someone that thinks that because they have a position or they have a status that they can buy you, or they can purchase your services somehow, and I think that this is also for the male idols, especially the ones that exude this sort of like seducer kind of vibe, because maybe for them, entering this industry, it's entertaining and it's fun, and they have fun and they love it, but you also have, these female, you know these female that are very influential, and that they are always looking for younger males for their companion or something like that. I have heard about that, and they do like the youngest the guys, the better. Um, SF Rowan reminds me of the big giant, but he's immature at heart. Yes, however, you can tell he's also very naive due to his overly friendly, trusting nature, which makes him seem even more of a child. Yes, yes. He seems very eager to meet people, like, oh, hello, like, how are you, who are you, If I remember Ten give him the giant baby nickname. Yes, yes. And he looks, and that he looks very, very like a baby, in the sense, because he marvelizes, or he gets amazed by by a lot of attention, or probably when they are, they go and meet other people, or they are in different situations or environment that they don't know. He's like really eager to meet new people or to meet new environment, where maybe the others are a bit more shy or a bit more cautious. He seems always to be in a good mood, always ready to meet new people, very welcoming. And I think that they should take care more of Lucas, especially for his attractiveness, because we always talk about harassment. We always talk about, like I said, that usually, we know, I think that it must be common that the most popular females in K-pop, they must have a lot of stalkers. And it's not just the sasangs, it's also people of power that want to possess them, you know and that they, because they have money or they have a status or they have connections, they think that they can, somehow like rent an idol. So I think that for the males, they should also be really careful. Be careful, because they are a bit naive sometimes. They are a bit naive. Don't you think also is his big round eyes that make him seem more of a child? Yes, yes, yes. He does look. This is why I think that he's very Aquarius as well, because he's charming, but he's also very innocent. You would be like, oh, like, where does he get his energy from? And he does it. He's really sweet. um, but I think that after what happened with all these hiatus and stuff, you definitely are going to see a more mature Lucas. You are going to see a more mature Lucas, because unfortunately these events, you know they change people, but it's necessary because, you know it's a whole process of, idols get betrayed all the time. For example, look what happened to this famous actor, the one of, what was it, the series that everyone was so in love with him, Hometown Cha Cha Cha. Everyone loved that guy. And then when his ex came out with the whole accusations and stuff, that he did this, he did that, like, he got canceled, then he got forgiven, then he went back into hiatus, and we don't know if he's ever going to come back to work. Uh, but these situations happened, and I think that actually these are things that, if he did, that should remain somehow a bit like private, and also it shouldn't like affect his work if he is an actor. And I mean, I think that he didn't cheat on anyone. He just had a bad breakup or a bad ending of relationship with someone. But the fact that this person, the ex fiance or girlfriend, I don't know if they were married or not, she exposed him. So this opened a lot of debates about what is right, what is wrong, and somehow it affected him. Mm. It's really of non-business when it's about his personal life. Yes, yes, because he was really, like, he was doing really well. Actually, he was gaining a lot of popularity. I actually like, yes, about her saying he forced her to get an abortion. It's just that I think that could potentially have happened. I when I heard the news, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a couples matter, in a couples, like I always say about relationships, no one is the victim, in, in a sense that when you are in a relationship, everything that happens in the relationship is 50-50. There's no like, oh, he was the nice guy, she was the bad guy, or she was the nice one, he was the bad guy. When you are in an association with someone, the relationship, the responsibility is of both. It's just that what happened is that the exposure got a lot of people talking, and that's when, once it gets out of the relationship or the people involved, perimeter, once it leaves that, it's going to get nasty. The stuff happens all the time. Yes, stuff like that happen all the time. Like, I feel like when it comes to the Korean public, they like to tear down the reputation of people who start to get popular. Like, for example, yes. Hmm? And also, remember, because the other day I was thinking that maybe I'm going to read for the actress. Who was it? This actress that she's an Aries, that she also got in trouble like last year um, for forcing her ex to be rude to the staff members, which I think he also is an Aries. I don't know. I don't know her name. She was in It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I was thinking about doing a reading for her because I think that when they asked me last year, I wasn't in the mood to read for her because I felt like she wasn't in a good place. Um, she wasn't in like, she was in hiatus, I believe. Like, and she wasn't in a good energetically mood, and I didn't even, after I heard everything, I really didn't feel like I wanted to read for her, because I felt a certain, like, coming from her, I feel like she was a bit angry, about a lot of things. So I was like, I don't want to pull cards for this person because I feel like her energy is not okay right now. But maybe now, if you know yeah, Sojaji. Mm. And she's an Aries. See that I told you that it's Aries, Sagittarius people, that they always have trouble with the public acceptance. Like, oh, she was, look at Irene. Look what happened. She's an Aries. Look what happened with her and the person that actually said that she was rude to the, I don't know if it was a stylist or, well, she also had that. She had to apologize. She had to, you know, and with this actress, it's going to be the same. But of course, that, I mean, we don't, um, we are not justifying their actions. It's just that for me, if I see that she's an Aries, I'm like, are you going to cancel her for being rude and arguing with people? Because actually, Aries people do this all the time. Like, at least they have to fight with someone once a day. so so it's like, for me, it's not like, it doesn't surprise me that they have these moments. But every time an idol or an entertainer comes out to speak the truth or to put people in their places where they should be, somehow they become the hero. So there's a bit of hypocrisy when it comes to Aries idols or celebrities, because it's like, yes, you want them when they are brave, when they dare to say something that you don't dare to say, but then you also criticize them when they have this very heated argument with people, like, yes, yes. And I think that probably to be an idol or to be a K drama actor or actresses, I think that, like I always say, being a fire sign is like you're not going to conceal who you are. You're going to show yourself truly as you are. So sometimes for them, yes, they can try to remain calm for a few moments, and being like, okay, I'm here because, I love what I do. I want to be famous. I want to enjoy this. But eventually, you're going to get angry at someone. You're going to have these confrontations, and people are going to be there, like filming you, or, you know. Mm. I don't think Irene, for example, is rude, but she definitely explored dealing with a lot of stuff. Yes, yes, mm-hmm, yes. And she's a tough person because she's a tough person to admit that she's going through something, because she is also a moon in Virgo. So definitely she she forces herself to be this perfect ideal. She forces herself to be perfect at what she does. So somehow her Aries nature is like exploding inside. It's like, come on, we need to say, we need to speak up, we need to, and there are other part of her that is like, no, we have to be responsible. So there's a push and pull, and she definitely needs needs people that can give her love, because she definitely is on the defensive a lot. She is on the defensive. That girl needs a lot of love. She needs a lot of love. Certainly, her situation was so unfortunate because that meant literally to turn the heat. Oh yes, and he's an Aries as well. Either to turn the heat off of him, turn the heat on to her. Yes, yes. This is when I say that yes, the female is always the one that gets their career ruined or their reputation ruined. And the guy, they move on really really fast from the guy. Mhm. And just like when she was really famous. Yes. Mhm. I also felt really unfair because I was like, when where they were these messages that were leaked between her and that guy, and I was like I'm not going to say that I had the same conversations with my exes, but I mean, I wouldn't like tell them like straight like, oh, be rude to this person. I think that I wouldn't like say that, but I had been really, really um, bossy especially when I was angry. My messages were really like I would really be aggressive, you know. So, but this is the thing, the messages I exchange with my partner is our business. It's as if I am telling him that I don't like his mother, or that his mother is not a good person, or I don't like his sister, or something like that. These are conversations that we have as a couple. So, it's not something that you go and you share it with others. Oh, you know what she said about you. So it's also, I think that there's a reason why she like would give him these sort of messages of like trying to like tell him to do certain things. Yes, they are out of context. Yes, yes, I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly, but all I can say is that I don't know, guys. At least in my case, I make self reflection and I admit that I had been a bit rude in my messages to my partner, especially when I wanted him to do what I wanted, So this is what I in my in from my perspective is like when you are with your partner, you sometimes say very ugly things, or you make comments or opinions that you normally wouldn't say to the people because you are not going, and also because back then you didn't have the potential to screenshot anything. So it was like the messages were delivered, yes, but you didn't have the screenshot. Now maybe with the screenshot, you need to be a bit more careful, but I think that sometimes in a couple's dynamic, it happens a lot of things, and some things are manipulative because it's a power struggle, and some things it's, I don't know, to be kinky, to be passionate, to bring a bit of fire in the bedroom, So sometimes you can say a few things, but you don't do it like expecting the other person to show it, So, um, oh yes, that's controlling. Yes, definitely. Like Seojeti wasn't involved in the original scandal, but he destroyed her career. He wasn't staying in the kitchen. I think that and also because me as a possessive female, and someone that I didn't have like trouble, like telling my partner what to do or what I like and what I didn't like. Probably if she gave this instruction for him to be rude to the staff, maybe it's because he had um, a history of being nice to staff. From what I read, I don't remember much, but from what I read, it wasn't just the controlling part. It was more like, okay, I'm giving you these instructions because I know how you are, and I know what you do, and I know what you behave. So she was trying, yes, to control him, yes, to give him a sort of line for him to follow, to dominate him, yes. But I think that probably the guy wasn't a saint as well. Probably he was a bit of, probably he did something. He had like a reputation, and probably she was the jealous type, and she would be bitchy about it. Mhm. Yes. Mhm. Yes, I think that the most immature part of all of that is that they shouldn't have let it get to the level of interrupting the workplace, and getting involved the workplace and work people that are just there because they have to get paid. It's a bit unfortunate that, yes. hmm But in the end, it affected not only him mentally, but others on the show, yes. But for me, I think honestly that she, for this to be exposed, actually, it was a favor to her. Because actually, I think that the guy was a coward, to be honest. I think that the guy was, definitely, he wasn't worth it. He wasn't worth it. For me, the guy was, no, no. For me, I didn't like the vibe of the guy. I didn't like how he, yes, yes, was very fishy. For me, I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. I think his ego too high. I don't know what happened there. Yes. However, he did end up in a mental health hospital because of this. Mm. But I don't know. There was something about his body language that I didn't like. Because yes, you can avoid like the way she asked him to not talk to these people and that, but his body language as well was very mm, was also very like he he was very urine, very like, because when you are in the industry of entertainment, you are supposed to be able to work with people. And he had this attitude of being really uncomfortable with people. When someone doesn't want to be there, or they just like they don't like what they're doing, and they just cannot wait to get home. And he seemed a bit disgusted. He had this body language of, not only I don't want to be here, I am disgusted by this whole situation. So, this is something that maybe if this was the case, he should have like address it, instead of being, because he had a vibe, he had something. So I don't know if maybe it's because he had mental health issues, or there was something, but he wasn't very cooperative, you know, because definitely how you work with others and how you interact with others, it also lets you know what kind of professional you are. And he seemed very like he didn't know that, like basic manners. I don't know how to say this, but in conclusion, it was a toxic relationship. She was controlling and manipulative, and he was avoidant, distant, and a coward. Yes, they were made for each other, basically. Because I think that there was the one that was pushing him, and he was the avoidant, but he wouldn't leave either. So, it's, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Sometimes I think that I'm shocked this whole thing started because he and this girl were outed. Wait. As a couple, but his company couldn't get in contact with him to confirm. Oh, yes. He was saying he was method acting. Oh, yes, I remember. It turned out like that. I felt bad for Girls' Generation member. Yes, that girl, poor girl. She looked really uncomfortable. I cannot watch that scene. I felt so bad for her. I felt so bad for her. So bad. Like the way oh my God. No, no. The way oh. And they were like promoting a drama that had to do with feelings and showing emotions. And come on, if you're an actor, act better. Like, yes, also. Mm. Just that there's something, guys. There's something that I think that we talked about this about K-pop as well. Um, Sometimes I think that it happens in K dramas, where people are like they idealize so much they buy the character. You know, they think that, oh, because this actor made this played this character of the nice guy or the good guy or the good girl, or you know, they think that this is who they are in their relationships, or in their, or even the relationships with each other, you know, with the co-stars. It's like, oh, if they kissed in this K drama, they could potentially be dating after this ends, and it's like they're working. and and there's something about actors, you know, that because I had heard stories about, I think we all had, about these scandalous divorces of actors and actresses, or actors and regular people, I don't know, but they always end up bad because um, people somehow put them in this pedestal, you know, as if because they are actors, their characters, they are their beloved characters, and they don't realize that sometimes they can be great actors, but they can be awful as couples, or awful as partners, awful as parents, even awful to their families. Like, I don't know why there's this romanticization, you know, of the actor. Hmm. Yes. It's like, you know, why do you keep supporting someone, you know, like, oh, because he played the role of the nice guy in a movie or a series, so what? It's his job. It's his job. So I don't know, and I think that it also happens in Hollywood as well, but we don't follow Hollywood. So, but I find it, the actors get treated better than K-pop idols. I think that they are like, you know, like they really put these actors in a pedestal, and I'm sure that there are a lot of them that are great people, but they can also mess up in the relationships and get divorced. You know, I remember when I was working at the company, and uh, I started dating a guy that was I was employed there, and he was a manager there of the security part of the building. I swear that he was dreamy, because he was always in charge of things. He was always coming and going. He was so productive. He was so hardworking. He would always wear these beautiful suits. He would be really polite. He would always be willing to help people. Has the best image, the best smile. I was mesmerized by him. Uh, and then we started dating, and seeing each other, and then I realized how self-centered and how inconsiderate he was in relationships. At least um, I mean, he would tell me very bluntly about his ex girlfriends, and he was like, "Oh yes, she is the one that I don't know. That's all. She used to do what I said, or all the work, because I have responsibilities. So you know, he wanted me to quit my job so I can be, I don't know, his servant or something like that. Because you know, he wanted me to stay at his house. You know, And I was like, I'm not going to give up my position. Like, I need to work. I want to work. And he was very old fashioned, very narrow minded, very uh, um, uh, like his mindset and his values were all very toxic masculinity. And I was like, wow. And everyone in the company respected him, as if he was this sort of god. And when I was with him, when we were living with each other, or when we were having dinner or seeing each other, he was this very disappointed poor guy. Like, he didn't even have sense of humor. He, you know, his role as a manager, or his role as this very efficient person in power, gave him this glow. But once you saw him in his sweatpants, in a shirt, like doing laundry, or like sleeping, he was just a regular guy with a lot of insecurities and traumas, and he was so childish, guys, that I was like, I will never date again a guy that has like a position of power, because I think that I fell for him because I saw him in this role of authority, and I was like, wow, this guy is so trustworthy. He seems very responsible. He is a leader. He guides others. So he must be really generous, or he must be really kind hearted. And when I got into a relationship with him, the magic just, he wasn't what he, he showed me on at work. So, and it's not that I was expecting him to be, because we weren't at work, we were at a relationship. But I think that what I'm saying is that the person that he portrayed at work, of being this very independent guy, of always going with the flow, always like being really open minded about new technology, new knowledge. I was really enchanted by all that. But then in relationships, he showed me a different side of himself, that he was very childish, that he was all about instant gratification, what he wanted to get and what he wanted to achieve, and he wouldn't consider it me. He was always being really selfish, and actually being very boring, like he wasn't that inter- interesting, actually. But this is what I think, that it is the difference between what the person does for a living and who they are in their in intimacy, when they are at home. I'm a January Capricorn. I was born January the 15th. But that's when I realized that appearances can be really deceiving. And I'm not going to lie, like I do like pretty men. What can I say? That's one thing that I always say about myself. I don't expect them to be, going to the gym and being fit and everything, but I do like a man with a beautiful face. Like, I do like to look at a beautiful face. But um, um, I also noticed that sometimes when you like pretty things, sometimes they don't shine as bright behind the scenes. So that's why, I always say, let's keep our idols the way they are idols. Let them shine. let them do their thing, let them entertain you, but don't want to look behind the idol, because there's where the shadow lies, you know. And if this is why sometimes people get really hurt when they have this experience of meeting an idol, and actually they are like, oh, he wasn't the way I thought he would be, or she wasn't who I thought she would be. I thought she was nicer, she was I don't know, I thought she was taller. You know, you do have a lot of these expectations about, you know, what you see on TV or what you consume, and you are like, oh, I'm hoping I can see that, but eventually, you know, they cannot be, they're humans, they cannot be perfect always. You know, it's like I mentioned about when I used to work at customer service. There's a moment where I just want to go home and not talk to people and not having to deal with clients because they are annoying. And but you know, while I'm working, I cannot be rude to a client. You know, I have to stay focused. You know, but when I am at home, I can be annoying. I can be my whole self, and you know, there's intimacy in there. Um, but yeah. Okay, guys. We are we have been here actually a while, so I think that it's time for us to move on to the questions of today. Let's pull some cards, and then we're going to go, because here is about to be midnight. So, do you have any questions for today? Oh, okay. How's B2B Min Hyuk? Min Hyuk. I have trouble with that name. Min Hyuk. Ah, Dispatch. Yes. Juno. Johnny and Tails. Ah. How is BTV BTV BTS after the Grammys? Sorry, guys. A lot of bees. About YB comeback. Okay. YB comeback. I have room for one more. Ah, okay. Wayne. Oh, I should read for Wayne as well. I probably will next week. She's an Aries as well. I forgot. It's just that the week doesn't have a lot of. There's a lot of Aries people, guys. So like, and you know I started earlier, but I mean, I'm not going to read it as a birthday. I'm going to read it as just to see how she's doing. An update tarot read. Girl generation. Okay, that's it. We have too many. Okay, let's begin with how B2B Me Hyuk is doing. Oh, Nine of Swords. He's obviously worried about something. I don't know what is it, but he seems to be worried about something. I don't know what it is, but probably he's slowly trying to get his mind around something. Probably something that doesn't let him sleep. You know, he's thinking a lot. I feel that it has to do with his personal life. You know, because yes, you know, he is a Sagittarius. His moon is in Aries. Um, and I think that he's thinking about a lot of things. Do you guys know if he's in a relationship with someone? Because I think he's worried about something, about someone. Minhyuk. It's just that I think that, you know, he wants to stay relevant in this industry. He wants to still work. He needs to work because he has a lot of energy. So he's someone that he needs to always be working. Yes, he has a lot of energy. But I think that at the same time, he also worries about love and relationships. He probably, I think that it has to do with his emotional world. Like, like he's slowly coming to the realization that he's really lonely, that he wants to have someone to share his life with. It's just that probably the person that he had in mind is not a possibility right now. Or that cannot happen, or that person is taken, or is dating someone else, you know. But he's worried, and he cannot stop thinking about it. So right now he's immersed in this Nine of Swords. But of course that this is the card of today. This is not like he will always be like this. But I think that he probably, you know what I think about Minhyuk? He does give me off this because he is a moon in Aries, so for him it's like he will always be young. You know, he has this energy of being, he is young. But I think that somehow he never committed. I think he's very seductive. At the same time, he had a few relationships because I don't see that guy with all that passion be by himself and being a bachelor. I definitely see him conquer a lot of females. But I think that probably now he's thinking about what if he settles down, thinking about what kind of person he wants by his side, if that person is able to understand his lifestyle and how he's living his life, and he's pondering over a lot of things, I think that, but this is about maturity. He's maturing, he's slowly, like, not only thinking about his own gratification, he's thinking about others as well. So this is maturity, actually. Just that guy, it's amazing. I would date Minhyuk, definitely. I would date Minhyuk. Because he is there's something about him that, um, Sagittarius guys, they tend to be a bit of a liar. They tend to lie a bit, Sagittarius guys, not females, they tend to be a bit of liars, you know, like they tend to exaggerate a bit the things. But I think that in his case, since he's the moon in Aries, he's a bit more honest, you know, like he just, if he says something, it's probably true. You know, like he doesn't have filters, you know. I think that it's not hard to actually get him to say what he really thinks about something. So that's admirable for me at least. Let's move on to dispatch and the hostage concept. What is that about? Knight of Swords. Yes, I think that the Knight of Swords is definitely that a lot of people are running to cover their backs. What motivates them and what pushes them to do this is to protect themselves and to set themselves free from something. They are running away from something. The artist, I mean, they are probably like trying to, like, you know, avoid getting caught. You know, simple as that. Yes, the Wands, King of Wands. But I think that they are like very the artists are very like decided. Okay, let's do it. Let's get this over with. Like, come on, because I want to move on. I cannot be here forever. Like, I want to do this, and as soon as I finish this, I will fly. I will escape. I will run away. And there's a bit of frustration here. There's a bit of anger, you know, of like, oh, why do I have to defend myself, or why do I have to do this? And yes, you have to do it. And but they will probably like have a good time. They will enjoy it actually, because this is a very passionate suit. Dispatch. So, but they definitely are running away from something. They are definitely like covering something. Like they do it because they are covering something, or they are like running away from something. You know, the Knight of Wands is the date. You know, the typical. Um, oh, I don't know, but there's a lot of passion here. You know, the Knight of Wands is the typical. If you would tell me like how is this person in a first date, I would tell you that yes, you will have a lot of fun, you will go through a lot of places, there will be a lot of movement, a lot of fun, but then eventually, just like as if this person came, is as fast as he will disappear. You will not hear from him again, you know. So this is a very like, okay, I'm not here, my heart is not on this. Obviously I'm doing this because I have to do it and my energy is here, so I have to do it. And I'm also very frustrated that I have to be here, but I'm going to get the job done anyway, and I'm going to be amazing at it. And then I'm going to go. And we're not going to talk about this ever again. We're not going to talk about how I went and I participated in this hostage concert. So there's like, if I see you, I don't know you. If we meet again, act like as if you don't know me. A lot of escapism here. They are very, and they are also they are in a rush. They are in a rush because probably a lot of these groups, they have the schedules on their own, so they are like, come on, let's get this over with because I'm busy. I have other things to do. Like okay. Juno, TBSQ. Another knight. Knight of Cups. So he is offering his cup to something, to someone. I don't know if he is like working on something, but he is offering something to someone, and it probably has to do with the fans as well. Probably he's also working in something that he's going to offer to the fans, and he's feeling very like romantic about it, you know, very like, oh, this is going to be very, very sweet, you know. Probably there could be like about writing something, you know, writing a melody or writing very deep, meaningful, like not concert, like lyrics. He's feeling romantic, you know. He's really in a good mood for expressing himself. You know, I think that he's also feeling very grateful. He's feeling grateful that he is in this state of, I have the potential of giving my love and my appreciation to people, and that I have people that are waiting for me. I feel like he's really like feeling emotional just thinking about how he's now able to have the possibility to reach out to the fans and probably open his heart. You know, I think he had his heart open for his heart actually closed for quite a while because of a lot of things that happened to him. But now he's slowly like recovering confidence in himself. And he's like, okay, I'm feeling the love again. I'm feeling loved. So the love that I'm getting, I want to give it back to my people. I think he's feeling generous as well. He wants to share with others. He wants to give of himself to others, and he wants to be very transparent and very, very also very empathic. He's feeling a bit nostalgic at the same time, but happy nostalgic, not, you know, but he's like grateful. He's finally like, okay, yes, I think that a year ago I wasn't in this place that I am right now. So I am lucky. So I'm thankful. Yeah. He actually gets a lot of like kings. He gets a lot of like kings, knights. So he's someone that definitely, yes, definitely pasamos los pentáculos, sí. He's slowly like, you know, getting a bit in contact with his past experiences. You know, I feel that he is someone that for him is it's not easy to connect with emotions. You know, he tries to hold himself from. He wants to show him as if he's this very strong, tough person, but actually he's very emotional inside, very emotional. Hola, Leonor. Okay, let's move on to Johnny and Tails' relationship. Johnny and Tails' relationship. The world. So, yeah, I think that their relationship, um, Juno's, Juno is a moon in Capricorn. Um, I think that they are definitely entering a new phase in their relationship. There's a sense of completion, you know, and I think that this is very important for them to actually have this dynamic of cycles of relationships, because I think that they probably had a few moments of like actually not, it's not about not getting along, it's more about not being on the same page or actually not understanding each other's nature that much. So I think that now they are in this different state where they are like culminating their whole energies, you know, because here we have, you know, we have the eagle that represents Scorpio, we have the angel that represents Aquarius, we have here we have the lion that represents Leo, and we have the bull that oh, friendship. Okay. And here we represent, we have the bull that represents Taurus. So I think that this also has to do with different sides of themselves, because I think it's very important. Except the Scorpio part, I don't know if any of them have a Scorpio placements, but what I can tell you is that, Johnny is a Leo. We know, I'm sorry, not a Leo. Johnny is an Aquarius, you know. This angel represents air element. Okay, so tail is also an air element. He's a Gemini. Okay, they share the air element. But we also have the lion here, and remember that Johnny has Mars in Leo. So he is very. He can be egotistic sometimes, or he can have these diva moments, and he looks great doing it. And we also have the bull here, and actually, tail. I believe his Mars is in Taurus. So, there's the combination of a lot of parts of their persona that they have the moments where they connect like they are soulmates or like they are each other's twin flames, and then they have moments where they choose to maybe to be with other people. I think that for them it's all about cycles. They have cycles where they are very close to each other, and then they have cycles where they feel like strangers to each other. And I think that it has to do that probably they are very different from each other, but at the same time, like, since this is the world card and the world is always about the cycle and it's always moving, this doesn't mean that because they are different they don't get each other. Actually, the reason why they are friends is because of each other's differences, and because they're always changing. They're always changing, both of them. They both are shapeshifters. Of course, one is more expressive than the other. Probably the one of them is more introvert, the other one is more extrovert, but they get each other because they are different. But they understand that they go through like moments of a lot of closeness, and moments of a lot of distance, just like the seasons, like the seasons in a year. Like, okay, we're in spring, yes, now we're getting closer. Oh, we are in autumn, okay, now we are a bit distant, but it's nothing personal. It's just the cycle of their own relationships. Probably they are like this with a lot of people. There's this they move in cycles in life, I don't know, or in relationships, I don't know, or friendships probably. Oh, okay, BTS after the Grammys. Hi Lillian, yes, on first days, yes. Two of ones. BTS is moving on. BTS is working. BTS is working. BTS is moving the resources. See, they're moving money. They are moving the resources. They're moving abundance. They are adapting. They are adapting. For them to be attending the Grammys was like one stop, like one way to get to the other, and like this, like a dance. You dance with me, you follow me, I follow you, la 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 la. They're always in the move. For them it's not that serious actually. It's just that maybe people like overanalyze everything, like about, oh, they must feel this way, or they look disappointed, or their looks that they keep moving. They don't have time. They are not mourning nothing because they are winning a lot. they are winning and they are working with what they have. That thankfully is a lot, and they are moving because they have the resources. So they have a lot of territory to explore at the same time. They're always on the move. They are probably working on something as well. I don't know if they're having a comeback this year, but they're moving. They're moving. They're not worried. They are not sad nor stressed. They are working. They are being realistic. They are here to work with what they have. That is a lot. Okay, wavy comeback. The Chariot. Didn't this card came out for wavy before? I think it did. Or was it for 10? I don't remember. I think it was for 10. Um, but I think that wavy is going to move forward with the comeback. Actually, you are going to hear news about this. I think this card came out for them. I think I pulled a card in my life for them. I don't know if it was about the comeback, but I think that it was related to this. That I think I mentioned about how for them movement and to be able to move forward with their creation or with their job is something that it touches in a very emotional side to themselves. Very emotional, because for them to be able to be where they are, it took them a lot to get there. So they don't forget. They don't forget where they come from. They don't forget how much it took to actually get there. So I think that wherever they are working on or wherever they are like putting their energies on, you should definitely support them, because they are moving on. They are moving. These guys are not going to be stopped. But I think that people should understand how important this is, and just be thankful that they have the willpower. For them, they get really emotional when they think about their careers and when they think about the possibility of having a comeback. Probably for them it's like a victory, a very personal and emotional victory. Probably they went through a lot. And I don't know why, but I read for them and I get emotional. I don't know why. But I definitely sense that there's a lot of things that they had to sacrifice, a lot of loneliness, a lot of hardships that they had to, just keep quiet and keep going, and they had to, they went through a lot, So I think that, the Chariot is this opportunity to not look back, just move on. Just move on, move on. Just keep walking towards the light. I don't know, towards something. You will not remain in the darkness for so long. You will be able to move on. Yes. I don't know why, but they make me want to cry. I swear, they make my eyes watery. Like, I don't know. They just feel so nostalgic. They feel so out of place. You have no idea how difficult it must be to feel like a stranger all the time, and like you have to beg for an opportunity. I think that they sometimes they feel like a bit like embarrassed to be who they are. Like they feel like they cannot be who they are actually. They don't belong. Like they will never be good enough as other people. There's this comparison, this pressure. You know, it's that. But they are strong guys. They are strong guys. I definitely believe that their purpose in this life is to keep moving. Keep moving. Doesn't matter what people say. Keep moving. Keep working. Keep working towards your goals. Wayne. Eight of Wands for Wayne. Is it possible for her to actually be working on something? She's going to receive some good news for her, actually. Something is going to fall in her lap. Something is going to be like, okay, here's the news for you. Here's some information for you. There you go. What are you going to do with that? I think that probably she can be working on something like, and I think that probably it's not something that she expects. It's like a sort of surprise, like, oh, this was available for me. And but yes, this is an opportunity that she has actually to take really fast. As soon as she gets it, she has to do it, because if she hesitates, she's going to miss it. So this is something that is a possibility that's coming towards her. Mm, there's news. I think that she's waiting for a news or confirmation. She's waiting for something, and this is going to come to her, and she's going to be very excited about it. She's going to feel really passionate about it. But yes, I think that the Aries season for her is very special, especially because she is an Aries. So somehow the ones are inviting her to get on this active mode. Like, come on, get out of of the emo season, get out of the emotional, I connect with my emotions, and I'm feeling emotional, and I'm feeling sad, and I'm feeling, no. Now is not the time. Now move, keep moving, because life is throwing you signs so you can read it. The universe is throwing her signs so she can read it. Girls' generation comeback. Um, mm, I don't think there's a potential of comeback. I think that they are mourning something. I don't know what's that. If they are mourning a relationship or something happened, but I think that they are still in this process of, like, also denying opportunities, because they are not in a place, in a positive place where they can see the possibilities. Actually, they are turning their backs to possibilities, because there's a lot of mourning. There's like a process of mourning that they are doing. They are thinking about what they lost, thinking about the things that are no longer the same. Also, like, understanding a lot of things, in a very deep and emotional level. I think that they are doing a lot of inner work. They are working a lot on themselves, on their emotions, on their frustrations, and these are things. This is a state that they cannot, like, ignore. That if they feel a bit blocked, it's okay. It's okay to feel like this. They should be patient with themselves, that this is not going to last forever. It's just that now they are not emotionally, like, ready yet to look at, the the potentials of working on something. Now they're looking more about what they lost. So I don't know what they lost, but it seems to be something about relationships more than opportunities or finances. So the last one, I think that Samara mentioned about how they're feeling, how this is going to be the last question, guys, and I'm going to go about Kepler. Um, mm, it's just that there's so many members. I mean, it could be someone's energy, but since it's so many, But there's something about the comeback, you know, the idea of the comeback. That yes, they could potentially do it, but there's like a bit of regret, you know, like I don't know if I want to because I don't know, this is not the right time, or I don't think it's right. I don't think it's good enough. I don't think we are ready. Like there's like a a disharmony. There's not a balanced opinion. You know, it seems like everyone has their own issues personally, so they are dealing with those still. They are healing. Mm, yes, because did you see the person in the Five of Cups is looking at what has been lost. You know, and probably it's not that it's lost. It's more about like, oh, if we like, I don't like, they probably want those members. Hmm. But you know, it's okay. Kepler. Kepler, the the King of Wands. Kepler is feeling really passionate. Actually, I don't know how they are doing in this competition, but they seem to feel very excited and very like passionate about it. So I don't know. I feel like did they get like the good feedback or something like that because they're feeling really proud of themselves. They're feeling like, oh, I done a great job. Like, oh, I think that we are doing great. Like we are advising. You know, they are like really proud of themselves. I think that they somehow were able to surpass a lot of probably a lot of like perception that they had about themselves, you know, not being good enough, and now they are like this in this. I don't know how they are doing actually. Are they doing okay in the? But they are really feeling confident, like passionate, and they have the energy. So, and they're excited to be there. There's a sense of like, oh, I'm really happy to be here, and they feel like they belong there. Like you know, like probably at the beginning they felt a bit like, oh, okay, what is this? But there's a sense of excitement in them. You know, there's a sense of genuine, really wanting to be there and enjoying themselves and having fun and being youthful and being wild and being creative. These girls are not going to stop. They like actually, you know, see them. They are looking at the horizon. So yes, they are like really like having fun. They're really funny actually. You know, and they are really passionate. Actually, they are very motivated. They are very motivated to be there. I don't know if maybe they will get a good feedback or someone is going to praise their performance or probably the I don't know how they're doing or what they're doing because I don't follow the show. But there's something about feeling really brave and really confident about what you got. So they're feeling like the King of Wands. So you know they're feeling very proud. They're feeling really good. Okay, guys, we have to wrap this because I've been here for 3 hours and it's midnight here, so I have to get some sleep. So yes, thank you so much, guys, to everyone that stayed at the end and listened to my ranting and other and other things that. Oh, but um. I thought that he already, well, he was a bit like um, absent, right? He was like a bit like he wasn't actually, he was in his country, right? There was a bit, I don't know why, maybe it's my perception, I don't know much about them, but I felt like he wasn't with them. He was focused on his individual activities. Um, but yes, I think that, oh, this is official. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe on Monday, maybe I can pull a card for him, so we can see, um, so we can see how he's doing after this decision. I'm sure he's going to do great. So yes, guys, thank you so much for being here and spending time with me. I appreciate it. And I see you on Sunday on the other live. And yes, thank you for like supporting me during my series of the birthdays. Bye.